All right, so we're starting these notes on how to read our paycheck, what kinds of pay periods you might experience once you get a job, etc. So let's take a peek at some of these vocab words that we're going to use during this chapter. So the first word is if you might be paid weekly. So how many weeks are in the year is key for this because it's what we would divide by to see what your annual would turn into to be paid weekly. So how many paychecks per year for weekly? This is going to be 52 paychecks per year because there's 52 weeks in the year. So bi-weekly means every other week, bi-weekly. So think of how many weeks are in the year and divide it by 2. So bi-weekly means 26 paychecks a year. 52 divided by 2. Semi-monthly, think of how many months are in a year and then times it by 2, meaning twice per month. So we're going to get 24 paychecks in a year. Monthly means we're going to get 12 paychecks a year. Teachers are paid monthly, but we only get 11 paychecks per year. We don't get paid in the summer when we don't work, unless we work summer school. Direct deposit. Paychecks blank deposited electronically. Most blank these days. So this is just how most people receive their money these days. It doesn't mean you have to do it, but if you have a checking account, you can have your paycheck direct deposited electronically into account. This is most common these days. All right, so hourly rate, regular hours, overtime hours. I just want you to look up these words. Your hourly rate is the amount of money you receive for each hour you spend working. Regular hours is a 40-hour work week, or if you are part-time, whatever normal amount of hours you work. So if you're a part-time employee that works 20 hours per week, your regular hours are 20 hours per week. All right, overtime hours. Are hours worked over 40 hours. Hours worked over the normal 40-hour work week. So if you work more than 40 hours, you now are receiving overtime, and you cannot receive a rate less than time and a half. So overtime hourly rate they receive overtime pay of 1.5 times their regular pay. Time and a half is 1.5 times your hourly rate. So if you find out from your employer that you make time and a half for your overtime, you're going to multiply your normal hourly times 1.5, and double time is 2 times your normal hourly. So if you normally make $15 an hour, your double time would be $30 an hour. Minimum wage in San Diego County. Right now is $13. And so think about how much you earn right now compared to minimum wage. The gross pay is the total pay before anything has been taken out. And your net pay is after everything has been taken out. All right, let's do a couple of examples. We needed these vocab words in order to do these next examples. We have 6 examples here to go through today. So Christina is paid bi-weekly. Her annual salary is this. What is her bi-weekly salary rounded to the nearest cent? So we need to go back up and remind ourselves bi-weekly is 26 paychecks per year. So we take her annual of 37.5 and divide it by the 26 pay periods, and that's going to give us her bi-weekly pay. So $14.42 and 31 cents. Notice my rounding, notice my dollar sign, notice my comma. Manny is paid semi-monthly. His semi-monthly salary is $12.39. What is his annual? So now we're going in reverse. Semi-monthly means 24 times a year. So he's getting this amount 24 times a year. So we do $12.39 times 24 to find his annual. This one's going backwards. So he makes $29,736 per year. Maureen works at Chicken King Restaurant. Her regular hourly wage is $9.70. If she works a regular 40-hour week, what is her regular weekly pay? So here we go. 40 hours at $9.70 per hour. She makes weekly pay of $388. If Maureen, from example 3, works overtime, she receives 1.5 times her regular hourly. What is her hourly overtime rate? So 9.7 times 1.5 is going to give us her overtime hourly rate. 9.7 times 1.5 is $14.55 an hour. Janice earns $10 per hour if her regular hours are 40 per week and she receives time and a half overtime. Find her total pay for the week in which she works 45 hours. So we want to calculate the regular pay, and then we want to add the overtime pay on top to get her total. So her regular pay is 40 hours a week at $10 an hour. And then we want the time and a half. So she worked 5 hours at 1.5 times her normal 10, which is going to be $15 an hour for those of you that can do that in your head. We go ahead and add that. 40 times 10, it gives us 400. 1.5 times 10, that's my $15 an hour overtime rate, times 5 hours of overtime is $75. So her total pay for the week is $475. Samantha works her regular 40-hour week plus 7 overtime hours at the time and a half rate. Her gross pay rate was this. So we already know the weekly this time, and that's equal, so hang on. So the 611.05 is equal to 40 of regular hours plus 7 of 1.5 hours. And this is actually an equation we're going to solve backwards to find her hourly rate. So we're going to go 611.05. Let's do 7 times 1.5. That's 10.5 plus 40. It'd be 50.5. And we divide both sides by 50.5. And $12.10 an hour is her hourly rate. All right, I think that's it. Yep.